Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to the adventure. Over on my Twitch stream, for a long time, especially, and you would know this if you follow the content here on this channel, I've been dealing with a viewer by the name of Panda. He is now permabanned, but as sort of a final gift in the last few streams he was allowed to attend, he came on stream and debated a Scottish Nazi, self-proclaimed. By the way, I'm not throwing that label on them. They self-proclaimed to be a Scottish Nazi. And Panda, being a teenage American Jew, I thought that might make for some interesting content. They debated anti-Semitism, racial politics. Neither of them were particularly articulate or well-structured in their debate tactics, but there's some laughable moments, and there are some moments where, against all odds, Panda was actually able to make a logical, coherent point and dunk on said Nazi. So I figured it would be worth archiving it for the history books. If you want to see more stuff like this, hit that sub button. I plan on doing more debates over on Twitch in the future, and I have one already filmed that's going to be coming up in probably the next day or two between a professional debater, collegiate debater, not a professional, excuse me, a collegiate debater, and a former Marine pilot about the Ukraine war. So that's going to be much more intelligent and reasonable, and it's actually a pretty good debate. So that'll be up probably tomorrow, and I hope you tune in for it. In the meantime, stay free. Welcome to the adventure. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. Let's.
So, what is the debate about?
Ethno-state and Jewish issues.
Sorry, your mic's cutting out.
Yeah,
What were
sorry,
you saying?
it's gonna be on race. It's gonna be race, ethno-states, and Jewish issues.
Okay.
Okay, so first I want to know what your position is on the JQ.
The Jewish question?
Yeah. Do you believe that an international cabal of capitalist bankers are working to subvert and destroy white civilization?
No.
Okay. I thought you said you're a national socialist.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely like Mr. Bond, woke and alone. Like, I'm definitely a nationalist, ethnoscapist.
Yeah, then why? Wait, you know, like one of the key tenets of Nazism is anti-Semitism, right?
Oh yeah, and that's why I find the hypocrisy, I guess, when it comes to Israel.
Wait, then why don't do you believe in any Jewish conspiracy theories?
I mean, maybe not the mainstream ones, I guess.
Well, what are some Jewish conspiracy theories you do believe in?
Well, I mean, banking system's definitely owned by Jews, entertainment, all that stuff. It's more about hypocrisy, I think, for me.
So you
like,
don't believe Jews
Canaan-
run the world? Wait,
so-
do you
so
believe
again-
Jews run... Okay, do you believe Jews run the world economy? Yes or no? Just gonna ask a couple simple questions.
Well, it depends on the East or West. So what are you talking about there?
Do you believe that in the West, in white majority countries, Jews have a disproportionate dominance over the economy, politics, media, etc.?
Yes.
And do you believe they use this to advance liberal or anti-white agendas?
That I don't know, because that's where, again, like I was asking you, are you ethnically Jew or just
I'm both.
religiously?
I'm both.
Okay, where are you living at?
In America.
Okay, so you are not in Israel right now.
No.
Okay, so what do you think about Canaan?
You mean the Canaanites of the Bible?
Yes. What do you think about Canaan?
They were a group of people that was at war with the Israelites, and now they're dead off. So what do you mean, what do I think of them? There's no...
Okay, so, and they took your land, right? You were excommunicated, exiled. Ramses took you over. You ran. Now, why does Palestine hate you?
The Palestinians hate Jews because
my more question is what is the Jewish homeland?
The Jewish homeland is Israel.
Is it?
And
Because I just had someone tell me in Tel Aviv that it's actually technically in Iran.
Well, whoever you're talking to is inaccurate.
But this guy actually lives in Israel.
What's one? What one? Not,
So
you know,
I guess
wait,
my
you know there are
hypocrisy
Jews that
comes from this. My hypocrisy comes from this is you guys are creating an ethnoscape of your own.
Yeah.
But it's wrong for anyone else to create that. But the fact that you guys even have an ethnoscape and ability to have it is because European countries allowed you to have it.
Well, can I explain the history?
All Abrahamic religions are shit. Again, I'm not religious.
Okay, can I explain the history? The difference is that Jews
Well, what is your history? Again, you're American. You're an American.
Okay, but
So
I'm just
I
saying.
guess it's very different than Tel Aviv and shit.
Okay,
So
Glock, you gotta let him answer.
Okay.
Yeah, let me.
So, sorry, I'm a little buzzed right now. I'm fine with it, man.
Okay, I highly doubt you're actually intense right. So the main thing is there was a country called Israel before they got conquered by the Romans, and then they got conquered by the. Yes, there was.
Yeah, there was.
No, there was not.
There definitely was.
What was it called? It was not Israel. I can tell you right now, because Israel was created in the 40s after World War II.
Okay, can you, Zach? Can you mute him because he's not letting me answer the question?
If you, Glock, if you interrupt again, I will have to mute you. Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
So there's a country called Israel or Judea, that was split up in the northern southern kingdom. Then they got reunified, and there was a state called Israel. Then they got conquered by the Romans, where the Romans called Syria Palestina as a way to humiliate the Jews because they understood Syria Palestina was not what the indigenous people wanted it to be. That's where the term Palestine comes from. Technically, it originates with Greek sailors, but the Romans stole it from the Greeks. So it's a long story there. But long story short, there was a Jewish nation called Israel before Roman occupation. Then, after centuries of occupation by Romans and Ottomans and then the British, after the Holocaust, the British recognized this is historically Jewish homeland, not historically Arab homeland. Arabs only got there in like the 5th century CE with the rise of Islam, and then they decided to give them their homeland. It's also a great way to escape persecution. Guess what? White people aren't under persecution, and also, not only are white people not under persecution. If they were, you'd actually have evidence of it. But the only evidence I've heard that white people actually suffer any persecution is that non-white people live in historically white countries, which is not persecution.
I never mentioned persecution. I guess I'm lost on that aspect.
Okay. Well, do you think it's more practical to have a state for people to go who have been historically and are currently being persecuted versus one more of a group of people that's not being persecuted?
No, I just think each country. So again, the way I view diversity, I think every type of person should have their own place, right? You travel to Africa, they have their culture. It's not multicultural. They have theirs. That would be more beautiful, in my opinion. Europeans have their own. The problem I have with Jews is the only reason Israel is a thing nowadays is because of Europeans. We gave you the technology for the Iron Dome, everything. Saved you from World War II. It was white Europeans that did that.
It was white Europeans that tried to exterminate Jews in World War II, so it's not.
No, I know, and that's another tragedy nowadays. So that was a conversation.
You're a National Socialist. Do you support the Holocaust or no?
I guess it depends. So,
okay, did you support?
And that's what I mean by hypocrisy, right? So right now in Israel, again, I just got into debate with this guy that lives in Tel Aviv. You are more than welcome to add him. I'll give you your username, his username.
What's his username?
I'm dying inside.
No, straight up. Like, I'm totally down to give it to you because he is actually there. He is living in the country. He said that I actually heard the Iron Dome going off when he was talking to me. The funny thing is, though, they are kicking Palestinians out of their homes, kicking any Muslim, any Islamic faith person. Again, I'm not religious. I think the Abrahamic religions are retarded. They're all fucking infighting. It's all the same god but different rules. So again, it's retarded. It's fucking retarded, bro. It's about hypocrisy about them they want an ethnoscape, but it's not allowed for Europeans to get an ethnoscape.
Okay.
Why is that?
I asked you a specific question on the Holocaust, and you still haven't answered. So I'm going to ask you one more time. I already explained why Europeans don't get an ethnostate because Europeans aren't getting persecuted like Jews have. So that's thing one.
They aren't. So if we go to Germany right now, where Muslims are taking over, raping and gangs, murdering, there's knife fights every day in the street. Charlie Hebdo happened. Like, nothing is happening against Europeans. Are you fucking kidding me? But Israel wants to create an ethno-state against the same people that most Europeans don't want in their country, but are allowing in because liberals want Europeans to be diverse. I am anti-diversity.
Well, if you're talking about the Muslims, I do believe I'm more critical of Muslim immigration than a lot of Jewish people are.
So am I. So am I.
But if the issue is not non-white immigrants, the issue is Muslim immigrants, and the reason why is because Muslims' ideology...
Well, it's also African. It's also a bunch of stuff.
Christian Africans and Christian Hispanics have not shown the same issues.
Again, I'm not religious. I don't classify people by
The only reason why Muslim immigrants are bad is because of the religious teachings of conquest. But if this was diversity where it was not Muslims, whereas...
I'm not talking about religious diversity. I'm talking about race.
Okay, why would it matter if, say, these were Africans that did not commit any crimes?
Because it's just proven false that Africans in my country are committing most of the murders. Actually, 22
Muslims commit terrorism because of Islam. There's no evidence that black people are inherently more violent. Muslims are inherently more violent.
There actually is proof of that.
Okay, what evidence?
Their IQ is in my country alone? Is that what you're saying?
So, for clarification,
is black?
For clarification, Glock, what country are you from? Also, quick pause. Nitrous Cutter, welcome in. We're having a debate right now between a National Socialist and an ethnic Jew, an ethnic American Jew. Welcome in. Welcome to the adventure.
Dude, that is where we differ. That is crazy to me.
But so, Glock, you're from America or you're from Britain?
Oh no, I'm from Scotland.
You're from Scotland. Okay, so you're in the UK. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any citations on race IQ issues?
Race IQ? Yeah, I have plenty. Can I post them here? Is
that
allowed?
Sure. Yes, drop them in the. If you have links to back your claims up, please drop them in the Twitch chat.
Is that Twitch chat, or should I do it Discord?
Just do it Discord.
I would actually prefer it in the Twitch chat so that everyone can click them and investigate them.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Let's see what you've got. I'm in the Twitch chat now.
National Socialist who believes we should keep people separate by skin color because multi-ethnic would obviously break his system. Yep. He said, "No, don't do it." It's not. It's not COS to drop a study or an article.
Well, I'm more talking about crime. I'm talking about everything. I mean, they're Aboriginals are mixed.
You didn't answer my question on the Holocaust. I'm going to wait for an answer. I'm going to keep asking the question to you.
What is your question again?
Did you support Hitler's regime? Yes or no?
For what extent, I guess? Against Jews alone?
Did you support any of Hitler's policies?
Yes.
Okay, what are some policies you support that Adolf Hitler did in terms of race?
White Europeans.
I know. Did you support his persecution of Jews?
Yeah, because you aren't European, right? You're from Africa. That's where Canaan comes from. You ran from Ramses. That's where Moses is, right?
No, I'm just asking. Yeah. So, do you believe that the 6 million number or any Jews were killed in the name of being Jewish?
That would be hilarious. Alternate.
I'm sure they killed a shit ton.
I see. And did you support that?
The actual number, I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. And did you support them killing Jews?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, fuck it. Why not, man?
good to know. And is there a reason?
My more thing is the hypocrisy. Why does
Yeah,
Israel get an ethnoscape?
I just said because Jews are persecuted.
From their own homeland, I guess, right? But they're
Jews are getting
persecuted more.
persecuted globally, so them having a homeland makes sense. Jews are.
How do they have a homeland when they've been kicked out of what? 119 countries?
Have you considered after getting 119 countries, there should be a homeland for them to flee to
Have
after
you
they get
considered why were they kicked out of 119 countries?
because due to a variety of historic
But why? Why?
because of
There's
bigotry.
no way in my head I can picture anyone being kicked out 119 times. Why were they kicked out?
Because of bigotry.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This is the BLM movement thing. Everything's about race and religion, eh? Again, I'm not a religious person. I don't care.
I didn't bring up religion.
Why?
I was telling you asked why
You're a Jew,
Jews-
right? Automatically it's religion. Just like Christians. Fucking A.
It's a ethnicity and a religion, but you asked why Jews are getting kicked out. And it's
How
because
is it an ethnicity too, though? When Israel was created in the 40s after World War II. Palestine owned all that. Just like when we helped...
You're shifting topics. I said Judaism is an ethnicity and a religion. You asked a very specific question, why Jews have historically been kicked out of 119 countries. I specifically said that it's due to racial and religious bigotry.
But why? But why?
Because of racial and religious bigotry. I just answered your question.
So you have a problem with me wanting ethnoscape because of crime?
No, I have an issue with you being a racial or religious bigot.
I'm not religious.
Okay, I have an issue with you being a racial bigot.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, and why do you think 119 countries, after they were racial bigots, that Jews did not have a right to create their own homeland to flee from these countries?
Well, I guess if we're talking about Abrahamic religions, it sounds like Jews made... Sorry, burping.
I asked the question, after getting kicked out of 119 countries, is it not reasonable to conclude there should be a Jewish state for Jews to be refugees from these countries?
No, I think at that point, if you failed as a community of people or failed as a people to get your own footing in the world,
being a
then
victim
you
of
fucking lose.
racial or religious bigotry is not an issue of failing as a people.
For thousands of years?
Well, that depends on how you define. That depends on how you define failure and what your value system looks like.
Like, we conquered the Native Americans. You failed fucking 119 times to set any foothold, and then we're the ones who's responsible for protecting you. In Israel, right now, the Iron Dome. Who sends you the most money?
Why do you think Jews are kicked out of the countries 119 times?
Again, that's what I was asking you. Again, I'm not religious.
I don't know.
I'm sure it was for some religious bullshit. Some Palestine, some Muslim fuck. That ain't my problem.
Well, Jews were kicked out of European nations mostly due to Christian fundamentalism and/or.
How did you get kicked out of Middle Eastern countries from the beginning? Before Ramses. You said it goes back decades. So before Ramses. Where was Canaan for you? What is Canaan?
What are you talking about?
Oh my god, you don't even know.
What are you talking about? You said 119 countries throughout history, which is an accurate statistic. It was 119 territories.
Do you even know the Torah, my guy?
Yes. You said Jews got kicked out of 119 countries. It was 119 territories.
They did.
No, it wasn't. It was 119 territories, not countries.
Okay, that's a semantic difference, Panda. That's not going to move the ball forward in this conversation. That is a semantic difference, especially when you're talking historically speaking.
I don't know why Jews have gotten kicked out of so many countries. Do you know why?
No, I was asking you.
Why
were they kicked out?
I don't know why everyone.
So there has to be a problem with you.
No, there has to be a problem with everyone else.
Oh, everyone. So.
Yes, everyone else
that
hates a minority. Yes, everyone else that hates a minority is responsible for.
So for thousands of years, everyone has always hated the Jew, and that is the reason they're hated. No reason behind it.
Maybe
You're-
it's due to other reasons. A great example would be
What is the
historically.
reasons then, dumb
What-
cunt?
Can I give you an
stupid
example?
fucking bitch? Tell me a fucking reason.
Okay, Zach, can you mute him because he's not letting me finish?
I can't. Yeah, I'm. Glock, you are muted. I'm gonna let Panda get. Hang on. I'm gonna set a timer. I'll let Panda get 1 minute of speaking time, and then I'll unmute you. Go ahead, Panda.
Okay, if specifically you want to know why they have historically been kicked out of Christian countries, is because the Catholic Church historically has held the position that people who do not accept Christ are not welcome. So there have been historical forced conversions of Jews. Another thing is, in these Catholic countries, they've done things like the blood libel, where say Jews are sucking the blood of Christian children on Passover. And another libel is that Jews were responsible for spreading the Black Plague by poisoning wells. Now, all these anti-Semitic conspiracy theories have no basis in reality, but because of them, it led to historic Catholic anti-Semitism, which has led to pogroms against Jews. If you don't know why they get kicked out of Muslim countries, because Islam has an historically anti-Semitic and anti-Christian doctrine that non-Muslims can't live within Muslim states unless they're subservient to Muslim and pay taxes. And that's why, because of Muslim anti-Semitism. And so those are the main reasons why. If you don't want to know why they're kicked out of any other territory that's not Christian Muslim, you're going to have to give me a specific example.
Okay, and so as the moderator, I would still be interested in the history of why they were kicked out of Egypt and why they. I am unaware of a Jewish homeland that predates their time in Egypt, but that's a matter of historical research that I would love.
Well, Abraham was from Mesopotamia, so it would be modern day. I think Iraq.
From
Iran.
we can look into that later. Maybe I'm gonna unmute him. Okay, Glock, you're unmuted.
Jews were enslaved in Egypt, and then after, God hardened Pharaoh's heart. Pharaoh persecuted the Jews. Eventually, Moses came. God sent the angels to kill the Egyptian firstborn. Then God liberated Jews from Egypt, and then they were after parting the Red Sea, were during the trip to the desert and went to Israel. But point is, Egyptians enslaved Jews. Jews had the help of God to flee Egypt, basically. So, I mean, this is a biblical story. But even if you don't believe in that, after that, they still live in a place called Israel. Even if you don't believe in the Bible, there's still historic artifacts, archaeological artifacts that can be dated before the Roman Empire of Jewish art and Jewish culture in Israel. So even if you don't believe they were exiled from Egypt, they were still objectively did have a homeland in Israel before the Roman Empire, regardless of your thoughts.
Well,
holy shit. That's what Canaan is, my guy. That's what they were going back to.
Yeah, but Jews are the descendants of the Israelites, not the Canaanites.
Dude, holy shit.
Jews are descendants of the Israelites, not the Canaanites. You know the Israelites.
And that's a religious belief. That is what I'm saying. I am not religious. That's an Abrahamic religion. Christianity, Judaism, Islamic. I am not religious. You told me nothing on why they were kicked out of all these countries. Why were they kicked out?
I just explained to you why Christians and Muslims have been anti-Semitic. I'm not going to explain it again.
I know. And nowadays, right? Only Israel can have an ethnoscape. They're kicking Palestinians out of their homes. Yes,
because nowadays Jews globally are
because they're like, it's our home.
Well,
Jews are globally persecuted. The fuck you talking about?
Quick point here. Quick point from the moderator here. It's not only Jews. There are other countries where there is a strong sense of racially based ethnic national identity. Japan being one of them. Korea being one of them. Go on.
Poland's one of them, and they're white. So no, Israel's not the only ethnocentric.
Yeah, Poland. I know. I want to be more like Poland. What is your point there?
You can't say Israel's the only one who can have an ethno-state when there are plenty of other ethno-states.
No, but then we have American Jews saying America needs more diversity. And that's the same thing that happened in Nazi Germany.
Hey, not all Jews believe that, first of all. And second of all, America is not the same as a historic... We are a colonized nation that kicked out the Native Americans. We're founded not on ethnicity.
And exactly, that is my point. We conquered the Native Americans, just like Palestine or Ramses conquered your ass back in history. And now we are being told as Americans or the West, I guess, not Americans, the West is being told that was wrong, while you are fighting the Palestinians over the same shit all Abrahamic religions have been fighting for over years. Do
I
you
think
see my
colonization.
problem there?
I said I think
And
colonization.
colonization is why Israel is even able to be safe right now. Do you
I think
realize
colonization was a
European
good thing.
countries are supply?
Okay, you're not, you
So
keep
you agree
interrupting
with
me.
colonizations?
I think American colonization, where
Was a
we
good thing.
brought.
So you agree that Native Americans, it was best that they were slaughtered.
No, I don't like how they did it. Ideally, they would
But
have set a more equitable land redistribution, but I would rather America than no America.
okay, and why do you prefer that for Israel? Because European countries are helping Israel. My point is, I want European countries to worry about European countries. Nationalists, I want America to care about whites more than anything else. I don't care
Yeah,
about
but America.
Africa.
Wait, but America was founded on constitutional values for everyone, not in whites.
Oh, was it? I hear a
Yes.
lot of I hear a lot of humbug about that nowadays. You know, the three fifths, all that type of stuff. Was it really meant for everyone?
Yeah.
I
The,
heard it was
the,
only made for
yeah, but
white men.
the founding fathers, they owned slaves, but they understood the moral issue with slavery, right? The founding fathers did have a lot of bad actions, but at the end of the day, they weren't the same, like, complete racists. They did believe in
They
Enlightenment ideals. They
definitely
had
were
flaws.
racist back then. The fuck are
It-
you talking
but
about?
that wasn't what defined their ideology, right? They had flaws for their
No, it
historic
was for
time.
white European men. That is what founded the Constitution. And if you don't believe that, then you're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah, but then the constitutional principles that were made for white European men were extended to other groups.
Exactly. Over how many years?
Over, well, let's see, the slavery and the abolition
And
and the civil rights.
and how many years did we do that versus you in Palestine? Or
What?
whatever your holy land is, over Canaan or over what?
There is
You-
no Canaan. You keep bringing up.
Exactly. Because was a real thing in history. That's what the Jews were going back to. You're missing my whole point. Again, it's the hypocrisy argument.
If you asked why, like 10 times, why there is a Jewish state and not a broad white state, I answered your question. Globally, whites are not persecuted like Jews are, and also white is a social construct, whereas Judaism isn't.
And again, I asked you why were Jews prosecuted over thousands of years, and you
I
couldn't
gave you
answer
the
it.
answer.
No, you
Religious.
didn't. You
Yes.
gave again a religion. I am not religious.
Okay,
So I'm
okay.
giving
They
that
were
away.
religious.
So,
They're
okay.
okay.
I let me stop you both here really quick. Glock, just because you don't like the answer that it was religious prosecution doesn't mean it's not
Wait,
a valid
did you
answer.
just say social construct? What the fuck? That's even
Whiteness-
worse then. In the West, social construct right now is men can be women, women can be men. Israel is not like that. They're even
No.
against gays. Literally, there are riots in the street in Israel right now because Netanyahu just tried to do the most fascist thing. Is that not correct? He literally just tried to take over the Supreme Courts in each county.
You keep
Or, I guess-
galloping. You're not listening to my answers. You said you're not religious. I don't
I'm
care
not.
if you're not religious.
I know.
The reason Jewish people were persecuted was because Christians and Muslims who are religious had religious bigotry against Jewish people. Do you understand this? Yes or no? And if you don't understand this, there's no reason for me to engage with you because you're clearly not engaging with good faith. Do you understand the idea that Christians and Muslims could have religious bigotry against Jewish people even though you're not religious?
Sorry, one more time, man.
I'm not going to say one more time.
I'm laughing right now.
I will
sorry.
clarify.
I'm having a good time.
I will clarify Panda's question. What Panda asked is, even though you are not religious, Glock,
Yes,
do
yes.
you accept the fact that some people undergo religious prosecution?
Oh yeah, I totally understand
Okay,
that.
that's
Okay.
But
what
I
happened
don't
to
think you get
Jews.
kicked out of 119 countries just because of religion.
Well, okay, so here's my counter for that.
And if you
If
want
the
proof of
gypsy
that, I
people
guess.
if the gypsy
Sorry.
people can be kicked out of dozens of European countries over the course of the last 100 years because of their ethnicity, why is it impossible that the Jews got kicked out of hundreds of territories in the Middle East because of their religion?
And in Europe.
In Europe, only in Europe, but again, it started in the Middle East. Like, come on, my man, come on. At least you care about your religion and you say you're ethnically and religiously Jewish, but you can't even talk about any of your history. And I know more of your history than you, it seems like.
You asked why Jews were persecuted. I said because people are bigots and racist. And
For thousands of years.
yes,
Everyone.
not
No deeper.
everyone.
Okay.
Arabs and white
Okay.
Europeans historically have had animus to Jews. Yes. This
Yeah,
is a
we saved your ass, and that is the reason why you have an Iron Dome right now, is because we send
yes. You
so much
saved it
money.
after genocide. Yes, after genociding us and
Holy
kicking
shit.
us out of all the nations, you finally
So
atoned for your
I
sin.
guess we'll start talking about my point now.
You don't have a point.
Israel and Palestine, right? They're separate, but they're constantly
Also,
fighting, shooting
you
missiles
like
at each
30
other.
minutes ago you said you're going to give a link on the race and IQ and you still haven't given the link. So I'm going to ask you one more time for the link. You still haven't given the link.
Oh, I'm gonna get there with the crime stats, I guess, in my country.
Okay. Give it.
Because
Let's get to that.
that has more to do with blacks and whatnot.
Okay.
Muslims.
Well, Muslims aren't a race, they're a religion. They'll put the link in the
Oh,
chat.
oh my God, you sound so bad as me. You're just as bad as me. Muslim isn't a race, it's just a religion, but Jew is a race and a religion. Come on, my guy.
Yes. Yes.
Are you even speaking in God faith or good faith?
Yes. Judaism is a religion and a ethnicity. And Christianity and Islam are just religions.
Dude, popcorn is amazing. Let's go, mind.
Zach, can you
What
explain
is
this
up?
Concept? Zach,
I
you're a
mean,
religious person.
it wasn't the most articulate, but what you said is factually accurate, Panda. So and I mean, to be fair, as a religion now there are non-ethnic Jews who also practice Judaism. So Judaism, a Jew is not strictly,
Yeah, and then they become ethnic
you know.
Jews. When you convert to Judaism, you become ethnically, or you become part of the peoplehood of Judaism.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a tenet of the faith.
Oh, no, it's not. He's talking out his ass.
I'm not a Jew, so I can't speak to that. Hey,
Judaism is
alternate,
a peoplehood.
alternate. You're very familiar with the Torah. When you convert to Judaism, are you considered as becoming part of the Jewish
Yeah,
bloodline?
Well, not bloodline, but your peoplehood. So it's not like your
Oh my
blood.
God,
obviously
what
doesn't
is
change.
that?
Yeah, can I
Peoplehood.
explain?
That's
Zach,
okay.
can you
Go
tell me
ahead
out
and
to-
explain.
Okay.
Sorry,
So
I won't
Judaism
talk.
is a peoplehood and a religion. Judaism.
Oh, that's
you
very
can be
interesting.
born-
Okay, alternate studies the Torah and Jewish tradition, and he has confirmed that what Panda is saying is accurate.
Yeah, so Judaism is both the peoplehood and a religion. So it is true that there is a religion called Judaism that anyone can convert to or anyone can believe, but it's also a peoplehood. So if you're born, your mother is Jewish, then you are part of that peoplehood. But Judaism is just shared by the religion, but people can be descendants of the religion. It's kind of similar to a culture and a religion.
Holy
and
shit! Like
ethnicity. The
Europeans,
point is,
their culture
yes, but Europeans
are not a.
specifically aren't one culture. There's a lot of different European cultures. There's Italians, there's
It's
French,
like there's a
Polish.
lot of Middle Eastern cultures, and that was my whole point on why you have been kicked out of 119 countries.
Yes, because those were racist Middle Eastern cultures.
Against you. 119 times. And I'm racist because. Okay. All right,
you
man.
are racist, though. You believe that there should be one nation for people that
No,
arbitrarily.
I believe there should be one nation for my people. the white
Yeah.
Europeans. You believe
But there
it
is
should
no
be
white
for the
Europeans.
same.
That's a
No,
social construct.
oh
Italians,
my God,
Irish
so is
people.
Middle Eastern, so is black. So look how many countries Africa has. The fuck are you
Yeah, I'm
talking about?
against Middle Eastern and African ethnostates and
Exactly,
white
because they
ethnostates.
hate you because you were kicked out. But why were
No,
you kicked
I
out?
don't want them to be ethnostates because ethnostates are racist, not just because they persecute Jews.
Man, we got a full house tonight. Welcome in, everyone.
Okay. I mean, I don't even know how to continue this debate, man. He's blinded by his own religion. I had a better convo with someone literally in Tel Aviv right now. I would actually love for him to come in. And yes, I would like segregation because I think diversity is what makes every culture beautiful. Again, an ethnoscape, right?
So
You can visit
okay.
other.
So let me get some clarity from you. So when you're talking about diversity, what you mean is a diversity at a global level where each country is very distinct from every other country.
Yes.
Okay.
So I could go to India and be like, holy shit, this is India. Visit there, not live there, not change the rules or how we want to live. And again, this was more my point about like the West. The West is trying to change shit. They're rioting in the streets, doing all this shit for people in the East who will literally throw them off of buildings because of their views. And it blows my mind. I prefer a white ethno state, white picket fence, American homeland
Okay. Can I
type
ask
shit.
you one question on that? Can I ask you one question how you'd achieve your white ethnostate? So
Well,
I'm curious.
how would I
do you
achieve it? I don't
define
know.
white?
How
Give
would
me
you achieve Israel taking over Palestine?
Give me an
It
objective
would require
definition.
the same
Okay,
things.
you're not letting me ask your question. Every time you interrupt me, I'm just gonna keep asking the same question over. How do you define whiteness? Give me an objective definition.
European countries. So
Okay, so wait,
Russia, Scotland, Ireland. I mean, no
Russia
Middle
is
Eastern
no-
countries.
no-
No. Sorry.
Zach,
Continue.
Zach, can you mute him for one second?
Continue.
Okay. Russia is mostly part of Asia, not Europe, first of all, and Turkey is part of Europe. It's at least part of NATO, which is a European thing. So,
Oh my God, I hate NATO. Fuck NATO. So remove that.
Wait, I thought you said you're pro-European.
As a race, not as NATO. I
Wait,
fucking hate NATO.
European race? Historically, white supremacists in America
Oh my
have
God.
classified Irish and
If we're doing this, we all came from Africa, my guy.
Yes, we did all come from Africa.
Well, actually,
So
point of correction, point of scientific correction. The theory that the entirety of the human race hails from the heartland of Africa has been debunked in the scientific community.
I guess my main point is anyone who came from the Caucasus Mountains. Is that better? Is that a better answer?
So yeah, you could use that as your definition because we have found human remains in the northern parts of Europe
who came from the Caucasus Mountains
that predate the earliest African remains. So it is possible that whites and blacks evolved convergently separately.
Can I explain the issue with your logic of a white ethnostate? Because there is no white identity that has ever been shared. For instance, there has historically been a lot of tensions between ethnic English people and the ethnic Irish people, despite them both being white. Why? Because English or Irish felt like they were oppressed by English for thousands of years. Now, under your theoretical white ethnostate, why should these two white ethnic groups that have basically nothing in common be lumped together, like arbitrarily because they have a certain skin color?
Well, it's kind of like you, right? You were kicked out of 119 countries, and now you're saying instead of just race, now you have a religion.
Well, Judaism has binding factors that make it an objective thing. Right? There's not this. The thing that defines Judaism is Jewish peoplehood, which is tied together by the Jewish faith.
But by Jewish, you mean religion or where you're at in the country as like a race?
It's not your country doesn't determine your religion. It's your.
Are you a Jewish race?
It's an ethnicity that you can join, basically.
Okay. Jesus Christ. Again, and that's the problem. You're a fucking man and you claim female, but guess what? You're still a fucking man. I
Yeah,
can
but
claim any ethnicity now? Are you
no,
serious?
anyone can join the
No,
ethnicity.
just the Jewish one. Just the Jewish one. That's what you're saying.
Yes, you can convert to Judaism.
Okay,
Can
I'm sorry.
okay? Can anyone convert to Judaism? This is a yes or no.
Yes, for the religion, but what about the race?
There, it's more. The only reason why Jewish ethnicity exists is
Today,
because of the
Junior, just
religion.
speak.
Jewish, it's not a race; it's an ethnicity, and the reason why the ethnicity exists is solely because of the religion. If there were no Jewish religion, there would be no Jewish ethnicity.
Holy shit, but you were okay.
The
Okay.
religion is the basis of the ethnicity.
Yes, I know. And as someone who's not religious, I find it stupid. I'm sorry, man.
Okay, you can find it stupid, but you can understand why people would want that shared culture, right?
Oh
You
my
don't, you
God,
don't
just
have.
like white people want to share culture and not be
No,
invaded.
I just said white English people and white Irish people have two completely distinct and competing cultures.
I can tell you right now, the groups from the Middle East going into the UK and raping and pillaging are not the same as 90% of European countries.
So which specific Middle Eastern group?
Oh, so
Pakistani.
see, again, this is just backing your own racism. See, you're racist too.
You just said
You're
Middle Easterns were
Yes, I
coming.
know, but you are racist too in that way because you just asked me, so which ones? As in, like, I know which ones, not mine. It's not the
You
Jews,
made a
it's the
claim, though. Give me
Muslims.
evidence. I highly doubt what you're saying is accurate. But if it's true that Middle Easterners are having issues with raping women, I'd like to see evidence because you're the one making the claim. And if you are, how about this? Have you ever considered restricting immigration specifically from the countries that you're having issues with? Not all non-white people, because not all non-white people are responsible for what a couple of nationalities do. No,
No,
give me
Maybe
a
that's
citation.
well,
that's
I
what
don't
would
know what they
happen.
do because you didn't
Maybe they should be
tell me an answer.
Maybe they should be.
Give me a citation that there's a lot of issues with non-white ethnic groups causing social problems.
I mean, Panda,
Well, like,
the Nottingham grooming gang is a public story that has been known for
Jesus
You know what?
years.
I'll
Christ.
concede this. Okay.
Then there was the 12-year-old girl
Can you
who was bullied to death. Then she just got
mute him
stabbed.
just for 1
There's
second?
whole rape
Okay, I'm
gangs.
actually gonna mute both
Now,
of you. I'm actually gonna mute both of you momentarily. So you're both muted, just so you know. The chat wants me to ask you from chat, what would happen if our living environment was segregated by color or religion or race? Panda, I'm going to give you 1 minute, and then I'm going to give Glock 1 minute to answer that question. Panda, go.
If is the question if what the difference would be if it was segregated by these factors?
Yes.
If it was separated by religion, you'd probably see a lot more religious hatred of each other. But I mean, I don't really know what could happen. You'd probably see religious wars. If it was segregated by color, that would basically be the same as segregating race, because race is basically what color is. There's very few ethnicities or that or would match together to create a race where the only thing that they share in common would be the skin color. There's like the only thing that an Irish person or Russian person has is their skin color. So I don't really see a distinction between race and color, which is why I say race is a social construct mostly. And if that was the case, I think that'd be fucking retarded. But what would happen after that, I don't know.
Okay, that was a garbled up mess that was scientifically completely inaccurate because race is 100% traceable at a DNA level. Glockwork, 1 minute.
just ask me the question again.
Okay, so
What was the question?
The question is, let me stop your timer here. Okay, let me God damn it, let me find it again. What would happen if our living environment was segregated by color or religion or race? Go.
For the white Europeans, I think it would be better. I mean, just look at it. Religious wise, I'm not religious, but look at what whites have done versus any African, any Midwestern, or not Midwestern, sorry. Just look at what we created. We created civilization. We created Rome, fucking Europe, everything. Shut the fuck up. You've been kicked out of 119 countries. Let's make it 120. Shut the fuck up. Your minute's ended. We created everything. Civilization is our key. We are better. Every time we let in a lower race, our civilization falls. Look at Norway. Look at Sweden. You want to know why? Japan, actually, even, is so homogenous that they are doing so well. South Korea, homogenous. They're doing great. Even with North Korea every day talking about nuking them. Like,
alrighty, and unmuted Panda.
diversity is a weakness.
Okay, so can I respond to that just for 1 minute?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So, first of all, if Japan recently had economic crashes where now they're liberalizing their immigration policy because the previous racist immigration policy has proven to be an economic failure, that's thing one. Second of all, there was the Arabs that conserved math, which is why all the numbers you use or numerals are Arabic numerals, because Arabic mathematicians, and it was Arab scholars that preserved almost all Renaissance work, which led to development of the European Renaissance, which paved the way for a lot of European advancement. That's thing one. Second of all, there's no evidence to suggest that IQ is significantly heritable between racial groups that would lead to a justifiable discrimination between ethnic groups on this weird racial IQ
Whoa, Panda, I have to cut you off there. If there's no significant evidence that IQ is heritable between racial groups, why are you going around claiming that Jews have an ethnically higher IQ on average?
It is heritable, but not significantly, right? IQ is definitely heritable partly, but we don't know how much it's heritable, at least percent-wise, and how much of it is due to other social factors. But even if IQ wasn't or was completely heritable, that doesn't still mean that proxies of race. Again, there are plenty of smart white people and dumb white people, and even if those smart and dumb white people, their kids will be smart and dumb depending, is completely heritable. There's no evidence to suggest that whiteness is the only factor, because again, within a ethnic group, you'll see a lot of different IQs. So using race as a proxy just wouldn't make much sense. And by the way, when I talk about high juice IQ, that's mostly a joke or a troll.
It's a joke. Now it's a joke. Shut the fuck up. This is. I'm sorry. I didn't even get to my main point though about
but
Western
you still haven't given me any stats.
You still haven't given me.
Hang on, muting you both to greet the new follow. You're both temporarily muted. I'm just gonna abbreviate that to Bone. Welcome in, Bone. We're having a debate tonight. The guy with the weird clown face is a literal Nazi. The other guy is an ethnic American religious Jew. Welcome in. My name is Zach. I'm moderating this debate. We're normally on Monday through Thursday, 7 to 10 PST for politics, and then we do random bullshit on the weekends at random times. Welcome in. Welcome to the adventure. Okay, guys, I've unmuted you. It's not the ring, it's my wedding ring. I got married, and I don't like wearing a ring on my hand, so this is my wedding ring. Okay, unmuting you guys.
I get a citation. I'm going to need a citation on race and IQ in the Twitch chat. You're going to have to give me any studies.
I'm going to need yours too, then, on how Jewish IQ is higher.
I just said it was a joke.
Oh, now it's a joke. Well, mine's a joke too.
Mine's
a joke too.
So you don't think whites have a higher IQ?
No. You got me there. It was a joke.
Cool, man.
Shit, so let's talk about crime rates in the West, eh? Let's do it.
Give me statistics.
So about 6% of the population makes, I think as of 2022, they do 60% of the murders.
Can I have citation? Put that in the chat so I can read it.
Oh, no, you're good to do that on your own.
No.
I'm not here to help you. I'm not here to help you.
Okay, you're making a claim.
Yes, I did make the claim, and you're the one who has to back it up.
What?
You live in the U.S. You live in the U.S., actually. Who the fuck do you see killing more people every day?
Okay.
Is it whites?
Black Americans. Okay. Black Americans disproportionately commit violent crime. If you want to know what happens, most of that crime is intra-ethnic. It's black and black crime, and the issue is failed Democrat policies that are soft on crime, like bail reform, raise the age, and not prosecuting violent criminals. And the issue is these are failed Democrat policies, but none of these liberal policies have to do with the fact that they are black. It just has to do with the fact that they don't want to enforce laws.
So it has nothing to do with they're black, that the blacks are committing the most killings.
No, it has to do with the fact that they live in Democrat areas, and these Democrat areas have failed policy.
Okay, so hey, welcome to the club, man. You know, let's create an ethnoscape. Let's get Eisengruppen rolling again.
Looks good.
Let's get these chambers going.
Yeah, it was supposed to, but the
Oh, that's crunchy and delicious.
Yeah, but the tray in the air
Who is
fryer
that?
And also, by the way,
like it says.
Just because one black person commits a crime doesn't mean that
one
99...
black person. No, it's not one black person. It's 3 or
It did like it was
I think technically because it's males aged from 16 to 28 or 26, something like that. It's actually only like 4 to 6% of the population is doing 60% of the murders. If we were doing that to Jews, yes. If just imagine whites, European whites, 6% of the pop. Why would I shut up?
You said it was 6%. It is 13% of the population for 50, not 60, and not 6. You're an idiot.
What stats are you looking up? Oh, so that doesn't sound good either.
13% of the population is black. 50% of the murders are committed by black people. You said
now
it was 6% and 60%.
Break it down by male or female.
Why would we do that? This is about race, not gender.
Again, black females don't have a father in their homes.
I mean, neither do the black males
don't have
generally.
anything. Again, I want an
Also,
ethnoscape, just like Israel does. Again, it's the same issue, just like Palestine with Jews. Hello.
Nobody brought up Palestine or Jews.
But that is my whole point. You want an ethnoscape. Palestinians aren't allowed in there because they killed more.
Zach, I'm genuinely confused if this guy's a troll or if he's actually making a point because he keeps gish galloping. I can't tell if he's actually being serious.
I don't know what that means. I mean, shit, man. You must watch Vosh. I'm more of a Destiny guy. He pulls me back every once in a while.
Zach, can we boot this? I think this debate's over.
I mean...
Why? Just tell me.
Chat, do you think this debate is over? I'm down to keep listening to this as long as it goes.
I'll keep doing this, but he's not making a point.
I just want to know why you were kicked out 119 times. Was it just because of religion and race? Or is it race
it has to do with
religion?
Race and religious bigotry. That's why.
So what Christians kicked you out?
The Catholic Church mostly.
Is that jalapeno?
So in Rome?
In Rome, in France, and Ireland.
Well, before Rome, so Constantine didn't happen. This was before
the jalapenos are really
Ramses.
tiny.
So again,
And they were.
Then it was ethnic bigotry. It was racial bigotry.
Holy shit! And you don't say that 6% of the population is killing 6% of people? It's not racial bigotry?
No. 13% of the population is black.
Okay, again,
50% of the murders. 50%, not 50%.
I love it.
Cool. 13% of the population, then, and they're doing 50% of the murders. That's great, man. Would you accept that in your religion area?
That's a bad thing. But the solution is prosecuting criminals.
Jesus
but
Christ,
not
Sammy Slicker, slurp up your spit.
You talking to me?
No, he
was. Okay. Can you mute him just for 1 second?
I'll give you 10.
Just for okay, give me 10 seconds. Okay. So the reason why black people disproportionately commit crime is because of culture, low fatherhood rates. These are all cultural issues. But the solution is prosecuting individual criminals, not blaming the 90% of black people or 95% of black people or 99% of black people that did not commit a crime because 1% or 5% of black people are super violent and responsible for almost all the crimes. Because guess what? A very small percentage of black people is responsible for a lot of the crimes, but the rest of the black community has nothing to do with it. So prosecute the criminals, but judge them by individuals. Not all black people are responsible for O.J. Simpson. The same way, not all white people are responsible for Maryland,
We gotta get better
not
at
Maryland,
meat next time.
the Manson family, or the fact that not all white
I
people
said
are
we gotta get
responsible
better
for
at meat next time.
David Berkowitz, son of Sam.
But every country that kicked you out is at fault, and their people.
They're not. Their people are not at fault. Their culture that was anti-Semitic
Okay.
that led to the expulsions was at fault.
Okay, and the black culture is destroying white lives, is what I'm saying.
Most crimes intra-racial. Most crimes black on black, not black on white. First of all,
No,
and yes,
no,
black culture
it
is
literally
I'll
black-
rail against black culture
blacks
all day,
kill
every day.
more
But
whites
the issue
than
with
anything
black
else.
culture mostly stems
Lit-
from white liberals telling black people that they need to be entitled. Almost all the issues with black culture come from white liberals.
Are you eating? What are you eating?
I'm eating delicious Mexicana kind of. This is what I'm eating.
Hey, get that taco. Tengo mucho grande pena negro.
It's delicious.
I know.
I thought you said you had to go to work in like 30 minutes.
Hey man, this is too much fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Let's see what this is from Nachos.
I'm not gonna lie. I would actually like to have a debate, like a three-way debate, with the guy I just previously talked to, who is in Tel Aviv. So this is totally good faith. Again, I'm not bad faith.
gay
I'm
if
just
it's a
not
three-
religious.
Hey, you said you're not religious 20 times now. You can stop saying that.
Okay. Well, I can tell you are, and I get how that can affect your way of viewing it. It totally makes sense. No problem. I would
You
love
can
to
be
actually
not,
be
you
in
can
this
be
debate
not
with you.
religious and not believe in ethno-states for arbitrary racial categorizations.
Well, and that was my whole point from the beginning. Do you claim yourself to Israel?
I support the state of Israel, yes.
Okay.
But the reason why
but why?
is because of the
Twisted
fact that Jews
Discord
are
DM.
I explain. White people do not suffer hate crimes globally.
No, white people
Well-
saved your ass, though.
I'm looking. I
How
don't
do
see
you
anything.
think the Iron Dome was made?
You said that
white
over
people.
and over. But
I know,
still
and that's
doesn't
my
change
whole
the fact.
point. That is my whole point. Palestine would have overran your ass if it wasn't for us. You would have no
Yes,
home after
you
World War II.
Holocaust the
After
people,
being
maybe you
kicked
should
out.
help them have their homeland. Yes,
No,
after
no,
you genocide,
not at all. Maybe you fucks should be able to actually fight for anything besides being switched around like Monopoly pieces over a checkboard.
Well, maybe
Maybe you should
white
have your own
people
land. We conquered. We took. We claimed. We won. Rome, America, UK. We fought amongst our own, but fucking A, we still conquered. You are still looking for a homeland. You're still fighting over a homeland, apparently, over 1,000 years.
Israel's only been a state for a couple of hundred years.
Oh my god.
That's
Do you
all.
get my point, you dumb? Do you get
Yeah.
my point?
I get the point, but you just made up a
What?
huge
Oh,
leap
shit.
there.
Thank you.
A huge leap? How?
You said 1,000
You're
years. when it was a couple
you're
hundred
still
years.
looking. Yes,
That
Ramsey.
sucks sometimes.
Everyone before that, before the Bible, before the
I'm
Ten
talking
Commandments.
about now. I'm talking about the
Again,
modern
I'm
state
not.
of
I'm
Israel.
talking about history, man. Again, I told
Okay.
you right from the get-go. I said in
Exact-
chat, I'm going to bring up history.
I actually can guarantee with the fact that this guy's a troll. So I don't know how
I'm not a
much
troll.
longer
I'm
you can-
pure NetSoc. Again, I think diversity would be great. Like, again, in their own home countries. But see, your thing is, Jews don't have a own home country.
That's
You
not
guys
his
don't
thing. That's
have
your
one.
thing.
Jews do have a home country. It's called
No,
Israel.
well- No, that is all because the Europeans allowed that.
Yes, and they should allow it. And they should continue to allow it.
Why
and they
should we allow it?
Because
Just like Ukraine.
You
You
genocided
think I
Jews.
agree
This
with
is your
Ukraine
apology.
or Russia? I
This
just
is
think
your
we don't kill
apology.
any Europeans fight each other. We have more problems with fucking Muslims, Africans coming in, raping, murdering little kid.
Okay. Muslims do cause terrorism. I already conceded that.
Oh,
In
see,
Europe,
you're racist
specifically.
against Muslims. See, I get
No.
it. It's good, man.
I'm not.
Just say it. It's fine.
Some Muslims are terrorists because of their religion, but there's no evidence that Africans specifically have any issues with
Yes.
crime in
Oh, you gotta
Europe
be out of your
that is
fucking mind.
because
And
they're
that-
black.
Okay.
Now,
and that's
if there's black crime in Europe, the solution is prosecuting black criminals, but it's not blaming all black people because you judge
yes,
people as
but that is the
individuals.
and that's what I will say is the Muslim faith is the strongest. That's how they were able to fucking make America like a little bitch out of Afghanistan. That's how they're invading everything. And then you're having the Western countries. The liberals are wanting them in their country when it's the same
I said
liberals
I
who
didn't.
are
I
thrown
said
off
I,
of buildings.
I
And
said I
that
wanted
is
to
my
restrict
whole
Muslim.
point.
I told you I want to restrict Muslim immigration already.
I know you do because you're Jewish. I get it. You're racist too. It's all good.
I'm not racist against Muslims because, first of all, Islam is not a
Yeah,
race.
you're
And
racist
second of
because
all,
of
I don't
religion.
even support a permanent Muslim ban. I just want to
Again, you're
restrict it if there's
racist
crime
because of
issues.
the
The
religion.
only time it's acceptable to restrict immigration is if it's actual crime. And it is true for certain ethnic groups, you can say that when you have them in your country, that might cause crime because you don't know where the country's coming from. In the same way, during World War II, if they want to
I
ban
concur, Stella.
immigrants that were ethnic Germans because of the Nazis, I would have been fine if America banned Germans who were potentially Nazis from coming
Why
over
do you
to America.
stutter so much?
Similarly,
Can't
I
you
would have
just
been
get a point?
fine if Trump passed a Muslim ban, or it's not a Muslim ban, but specifically countries that we're enemies with that could be potential national security risks, like Syria. But this doesn't mean all Arabs or all black people. It just means these specific countries.
I
There's a
wish you
difference
luck,
between a race
Airborne.
and
No,
nationality.
it's not the specific countries to you. It's the specific religion. And see, I am not religious, and that is the
It's
point.
not
I am.
other religion. I don't have an issue with Muslim immigrants if they're from a country you can vet properly. But the issue is a lot of these don't come from countries you can vet.
And
So that's the
that's
issue.
my whole point. The Western European countries don't vet. We're being invaded.
Yeah, that's an issue. Then they need to stop letting in non-vetted immigrants. I said I agree with you, but how is that
I
making
know,
a hypocrite?
just like the southern border in Mexico. I don't
Yeah, but
really know what's
the
going
issue
on there,
is these
but
Mexican
I would
immigrants
just
are
put a
vetted.
turret.
Like these Mexican immigrants, we have a process for vetting in the United States.
See, to me, you are a group of people who have been kicked out so many times that you don't have a homeland because you never had the balls to fight for your own. Everyone else
We
had
do
to
have a
fight for
homeland
it.
now.
Well, yeah, because we came from Britain, we conquered, then we moved here, conquered Britain, actually, with France. So more Europeans helping Europeans to conquer. We conquered. And what do you have? You've been kicked out 119 countries, again, like I was saying, and you're still fighting your fucking neighbor every day. And the only reason you're able to survive is because your neighbor sends you billions of dollars every year. You're pathetic. If you are the worst race, if anything. You are the most needy. You are the most. I don't care if you rape and kill, but fuck, you're taking my money. Any European country, you're taking our money. You fuckers got a land in the 40s. And that's what I was asking about Canaan earlier before. You don't have fucking nothing. You left Ramses, Moses parted the seas and everything, and you
Jews
have nothing.
disproportionately contribute to European medicine, science, etc. Jews are like
Do you know
40%
who
of the...
we gained the most knowledge from for all modern technology? Was actually the Nazis. The fucking rocket. Yes,
Jews are like 30
yes.
or 40.
I know you may not like Mangala,
I said, but Hitler.
but we fucking
Jews are
gained
like, okay.
more knowledge from Nazis than anything
Zach,
else.
can you give me
They're the
10
first
seconds?
thing with the V2 rocket.
Zach, can you give
You're
me 2
fucking
seconds?
pathetic. You are still fighting over
Zach,
it. That's
Okay,
thousands of
yep,
years
hang on.
later.
Okay. Glock, you have been server muted for going on an ad hominem rant. Panda, you have like 2 minutes to go.
Okay, the main point I was saying, Jews make up like 20, 30 to 40% of Nobel Prize winners, despite being 0.2% of the world's population. Jews are disproportionately overrepresented in science, professors, jobs, journalistics, and even if you don't respect like liberal arts academics, in terms of medicine, and in terms of what do you call it, new companies that are made, a lot of the technological progress that you claim is because of white civilization, a lot of that come from Ashkenazi Jews, who disproportionately are Nobel Prize winners, doctors, etc. So the idea that all of these are white European inventions is not true. If you want an example that's not Jewish or white European, as I said, math and algebra were pioneered by Arabs, by Muslim Arab scholars. If you want to, there are plenty of things that black people have contributed to over the years. Plenty of things Hispanic and Asian people. Asians are disproportionate doctors in the United States. There's so many accomplishments non-white races have given and helped white people with. Is this to say white people are inferior? No. White people have done a lot of great things. White people have given us democracies. White people have given us all sorts of things. But each race, or each members of its race, have given individual contributions. The point is, my man, that you want the best people regardless of race. And it's clear each race has individually contributed with its members to accomplishments. If the Arabs didn't have their good apples, we wouldn't have math. If whites didn't have good apples, we wouldn't have things like Boolean algebra and modern democracy. If Jews didn't have their good apples, we wouldn't have a lot of modern medicine. Asians didn't have their good apples, a lot of the things that Asians give us wouldn't have. So the point is, there's no evidence one race is superior to another, so why discriminate based on race in terms of societies? Shouldn't we just focus for who's the smartest people and not use this weird color proxy?
Okay, Panda, you got your 2 minutes. Really quick, I'd like to welcome the, you just hit the follow button. Oh, shit. And now we're getting a raid from Rob Dorr. Wow. Oh what a night to get a raid. New follow, Elm, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the adventure. Raiders, welcome in. If you haven't been here before, my name is Zach. This is my wife, Kate. Welcome to the adventure. Right now, we're having a debate between a longtime viewer who's, well, he's Panda, and and a literal Nazi. This guy right here is a self-professed literal Nazi. I'm not being hyperbolic. He literally admits to it. And Panda is an American Jew. So I'm gonna unmute them both now, and let's get back to this shit show. You're both unmuted.
All
right, what's going on now?
We got a raid, and I just had to welcome everybody in.
I just explained to you each race has contributed to a lot of progressive civilization, so you should discriminate on who's the best person. There's no fault on that goes.
Who do you think has done the most for the humanity, I guess?
Nobody. No individual race. It's a combination of all the
rockets, I guess.
Weeb Trash, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the adventure.
Rockets, internet, nothing.
Weeb Trash wants me to be Batman.
I have no clue who disproportionate rocket scientists
I'll moderate this debate as Batman.
But rockets aren't the end all.
You don't know the rockets not. So when we excused all the Nazis to help create our rockets to go to the moon,
but rockets aren't the end all be all of civilization.
No, I'm not saying they are, but it's well, technically they could be. I mean, I think Rome under Constantine and everything was the first.
Guardian, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the adventure.
Can you just ask the chat if they have any questions so we can actually progress in this? Because I have a feeling we're going nowhere if the chat doesn't step in. So, chat, do you have any questions?
I would be very open to having the chat pose questions to both the participants. And Fox, I can't put the shirt back on, not at least for like 5 minutes, because that's the redeem. They paid their points.
Hey, chat, just remember, he doesn't know why they were kicked out of 119 countries. He doesn't know why.
Because they're bigots.
Everyone's bigots. Everyone's bigots. That's his answer. Just everyone's bigots. All right.
If they weren't bigots, they wouldn't have kicked out.
119 times. Come on, man. Come on.
Twisted wants to know, when are you guys going to announce your homosexual relationship with each other?
Oh, dude, I'll suck his dick right now. This little Jewish boy, right? They're circumcised. That's how we tell them. That's how we tell them apart, right? They're circumcised.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Entertainment collision. I'll have you know that the entire chat has been very entertained this whole time.
Black people have basically invented the modern basketball industry.
Oh my god, that's racist. Are you saying only black people are for entertainment? Jeez.
No,
Well,
there's plenty
no,
of
I mean
other
it is actually factually true that black people invented basketball
No,
as
I
we
know.
know it today.
Because they're best at entertainment. We get it. I know.
No, it's just that's the area where they most had the opportunity to. But yes,
Well, yeah, I would hope after 100
But-
couple years of being slaves, but somehow you motherfuckers are still fighting. These fuckers are free.
any questions? So I'm curious. You said you're not a
Nothing.
natural
Come on,
socialist.
man.
Why-
I'm just having a good time now. Come
I'm
on.
curious. Why aren't you a pagan? Because you do realize a lot of the National
What?
Socialists.
He's not
I'm
a
not a
pagan.
pagan.
I know you're not a pagan. Why aren't you a pagan?
Okay, why isn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hitler-
I have
Hitler-
visible proof of stuff.
Well, you like a lot of what Hitler did. You know, Hitler was probably a pagan, or he praised it a lot.
No, he was a Christian. Actually, I think he was
He-
technically Catholic.
Actually, he was brilliant.
I don't.
He was a disciple of
Sure.
Brill.
and robust data of significant
Yeah.
So was Himmler.
and little ongoing
Maybe.
benefit.
Actually, no, I know that for a fact.
It's well documented
It's well
historically.
documented that historically that he was a disciple of Brill.
Oh,
and
what was
so
the
Himmler.
castle then? The Black Sun. I fuck with obviously Black Sun. I like that as a symbol.
But yeah, if a
Well,
lot
because
of the
it originally
German
came from
leaders were-
Hindu, but
Well, it was a
it
no.
was
That was the
adopted.
swastika. I'm talking about the Black Sun. It was a castle
The
that they.
swastika, I
took
thought, was
over.
a Janus, not.
What?
No, the swastika was Hindu. Motherfucker. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah, the swastika was Hindu.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The Black
Yeah, so,
Sun.
yeah.
Himmler found in a castle where he wanted to make it the. What's American, like the undying flame for that? Schultzstaffel.
You mean the eternal flame?
Yes, eternal flame for
Mhm.
the Schultzstaffel, and he
Mhm.
found that in the castle, and that's where he wanted to build it.
Yeah, yeah, that's,
And
where
that's
he
what
wanted to build
yeah.
it, and that also inspired
No one
him
knows where it really
to-
comes from, but it's the Black Sun. No one really knows what. It's definitely based in Norse.
You still didn't
Originally,
answer my
You're-
you
that
still didn't answer my
also
question.
inspired him to write the Blood Book.
yeah,
Yeah, you
fucking based.
like Hitler, but Hitler had a lot of religious.
No, he was
pagan
stupid.
ideas.
Hitler was also retarded.
Well,
Yeah, why are you
he
not
had
supposed to-
Parkinson's. He had severe Parkinson's, and that's part of the
Wait,
reason
if
why.
Hitler, wait, I'm confused. If Hitler was retarded, then why are you a National Socialist?
Well, no, Hitler was
What?
Hitler was not retarded. He
So
was
was
mentally
Stalin.
he was mentally ill simply because
Why am I
he
not a-
had severe Parkinson's. So he was hopped up on like laudanum
Oh, yeah.
and all different kinds of things.
And then what was the
All the
main
time.
drug they gave? It was an over-counter drug. That's how they
Pervitin.
did Blitzkrieg so fast. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't
No.
answer my question. Why would you like? Why would you worship an ideology invented by someone who you think is an idiot?
We're moderating the debate.
Well, I can tell you military
If I
failures
need
why.
you for facts, I'll ask you.
I know.
Okay.
Why do you like Nazi
I'm not trying to
Germany
shit on you.
if Hitler was an idiot, in your opinion?
Because he wanted to create an ethnoscape, and I agree with it. And going off your stats, again, because you didn't deep dive into it, if 13% of the population is doing 50% of the murders, I think that's a problem for white people.
Yeah, have you considered you should prosecute the people who commit the murders, not the entire race
Oh,
that they happen to belong
Trust
to?
me, trust me. You think I'm against my own race too? I will hang. I wish I could hang some of my own race.
I know. Why do you judge people by individuals, not by their skin color?
Stats. Who does the
What?
most crime?
Yes. If someone commits a crime, judge them for the action they have committed. The fact that someone
Yes.
else happens to have the same color as someone that happened to commit a crime does not make them by default responsible. A black
No,
person
but by
is not...
default, when a black person commits more crimes than anyone else, then yes. That's when it matters to
An
me.
individual black person
Just
may
like
commit more
Jews, you can't tell me why you were kicked out 100 and something times. You can't tell me. You make up your religious belief again.
Zach, can I have 10 seconds real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll
So,
be quiet.
10 seconds. Okay, so a black person commits a crime. That black person goes to jail. They should go to jail. A black person that did not commit a crime does not go to jail, and they can live in America, and they should not be at all in any way judged because that other person who happened to share a skin color happened to do one thing. Because people who are individuals, people that are individual criminals need to be punished, and other than that, people that are not criminals, that are just run-of-the-mill people, of any race, with dignity and respect. You should judge people by their actions, not some proxy for that, like their skin color, which is an arbitrary categorization. There's no reason why someone who happens to share the same skin color as another person who happened to commit a crime is at all responsible for that crime, so why punish them? You get it?
No, I mean, it's basically. I mean, we're just circling.
Yeah. You have
Again, you're the same way as me with Muslims. I'm the same
I'm
way
not.
with every other. Yeah, you are.
I judge
You're the same
individual
way.
Muslims.
No, you judge Muslims as a whole, especially when we
Uh-huh.
talk about Israel. Yes, we already went through all this. We're just going in circles.
I said individual Muslims. I don't blame for all the actions of Hamas, but this doesn't mean that there's an issue
Okay.
with Islamic culture that leads to it, right?
Okay, and
It's
what
a
is the culture derived from?
The culture of Arabic people globally is mostly derived from Islamic doctrine, which is a religious
From what?
doctrine.
From what? From what?
The Quran.
What book? Okay, so you're just as bad as me,
Oh,
but you're saying
wrong
you're
tube.
righteous because you're a Jew.
So
At least I tried to
black
go down the wrong
people
tube.
on a religion
Didn't
like
make it.
Muslim is, and not all Muslims are responsible.
No,
but
and
it's the
again,
doctrine.
as a non-religious person, that is why they are wiping us out. We're letting them in, destroying our culture. Islam, that's why you see people like fucking retards like Andrew Tate and shit taking over with Muslim beliefs.
Exactly. Wolf.
Your kid will be Muslim, not white European. They will be Muslim. They are wiping out the white
You can be
ethnicity.
white European. Wait, you can be white European and Muslim.
That is accurate, Airborne.
God.
The thing about the hats, that is accurate.
You can be the religion of Islam and be a white European. It's not a race. It's a religion. So,
Oh my god, but somehow Jew is a race and a religion. You guys are both, but no one else is.
Yes, that's the only, or basically Judaism and maybe Zoroastrianism, but no other religion.
That's where you lose me. That's where you lose me, my guy. Because you guys been kicked out of country. That's why you have to say you're a race or a religion, because you have no home country. You've been kicked out of so many, you have no home country. And that is a point of mine.
Okay.
You're non-dominant.
I'm muting. I'm server muting both contestants really quick, or both debaters really quick, to make some historical points here. First of all, yes, Judaism is unique in that it is the only religion that also has a almost one-to-one ethnic heritage basis. Two, I'd say that the fact that they had been there for many, many hundreds of years before the Roman invasion, if not thousands of years before the Roman invasion, constitutes it as a Jewish homeland. I don't think it takes the entirety of the Earth history for a people to set up their place as having a homeland in a certain place. And three, I want closing statements from both individuals, as this has begun to circle and go nowhere in absolutely no productive fashion. So I'm going to unmute Panda, and I want a closing statement. You have 3 minutes. Go.
Okay, well, my closing statement would be, in my opinion, it's unfair to have a state based solely on skin color or a ethnicity But in the case of Israel, I would say that this group of people that has historically been persecuted by other groups of people has a legitimate claim to a historic homeland that they happen to live in as a safe haven from persecution um, in this land. Now, white. In terms of my beliefs on nation state, I do believe a nation state should exist, but that nation state should be founded on ideals, not skin color. So in America, I would advocate that we are on constitutional ideals, which are inspired by the ideas of the founding fathers, like classical liberalism, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, free market capitalism, and other ideals. And in Israel, I would advocate for Jewish cultural ideals, and hopefully in the Western European nations have good cultures, but those cultures should not be dictated by the race. And my opinion on immigration is I don't care race is a factor, but I do care if a group of people that goes is a risk to the general population. And I do believe in the context of certain Islamic immigrants to Europe, they do face issues with organized terrorism. But I don't believe that all Muslims are responsible. I believe you have to find a nuanced balance between having reasonable immigration policies to prevent crime and judging people by individuals. But the point is, no one person that is a member of a skin color should be judged by the actions of another because they happen to hold the same skin color. So I guess that's my closing statement.
Okay. You see the rest of your time for your closing statement?
Sure.
Okay. Alrighty. Server muted, and Glock, go ahead. 3 minutes.
Sorry, am I on?
Yep.
All right. So basically, overall, if you're religious Christian, Muslims are going to be taking over. They already are. Most Africa is Muslim. Andrew Tate is pushing Muslim shit on your kids. I'm not religious. Again, as I said for a millionth time, we're white Europeans. You need to learn how to fight back against this derogatory shit against white Europeans. They're taking over. You want a fact about him? They can't even find a homeland and they're still fighting him, and the only reason they're able to survive with the Iron Dome is because of white Europeans. Muslims will take over the world. There's plenty of documentaries you can watch on how the West is already dead. And that's it. If you want to care about your homeland, defend it. White males, rise up, defend your homeland. Especially if you're Christian, religious. I mean, I'm not religious, but I just view it as our people are being stomped out and Islam will rule.
And you see the rest of your time?
Yep.
All right. Okay, so that was that, folks. All right, I am kicking both of them out of the. Hang on, I'm kicking both of them out. Yep, disconnect. Boom. Disconnect. Boom. Twisted. Let's talk about that.
Yo, I think my IQ just dropped by 20 or 30 points.
Oh God.
It was like the battle of the retards.
It was something, bro.
It was entertaining, though.
Yeah, I'm posting this to YouTube.
Yes, it definitely needs to go on YouTube.
Oh.
Aren't you glad that I encouraged this degenerate behavior?
Absolutely.
This is the most viewers I've seen. People were interested in the train wreck. They couldn't look away.
Yeah, well, this is the kind of shit that gets views in the politics. It is.
It is. It is. Yeah, we'll definitely have to institute a debate day. I am 100% open to moderating more debates.
Yeah. I think a good one would be Ukraine.
We should kind of have some more real points
I want
to them.
to debate that.
And maybe not feel so stupid coming out the other side.
Yeah, well, this was very spur of the moment. One of the contestants was self-purported to be drunk, and both of them are self-purported to be in high school, so, you know.
Totally worth it.
Totally worth.
It was entertaining.
I will say I'm only one panelist. I consider me and my mods to be the panelists here, And I'm not going to say I have any kind of special vote because I'm just one guy. But, and I hate to fucking say this, it tastes like shit in my mouth and I haven't even said it yet. But Panda won! Barely! But he did.
I think in all reality, we were all the winners because we got to laugh at the absurdity of both statements. So I'm going to cast my vote to the audience one.
I think I'm going to have to chalk it up as a tie for the sole fact that somewhere in that roundabout nonsense, they both had points at times.
That is true. That is true. And I really wish, I do wish that Glock had posted some of the stats and studies that he was referencing, instead of just expecting us to take his word for it. It was a serious L from Glock when he said, "That's my statement, you have to back it up." I don't know if he said that because he was drunk or if he actually thinks that's how debating works, but that was a big L. Hey,
yeah, I would certainly concur with that.